proper workbench was a must for the woodwork room. It would make things much more easier for me to keep my tools and stuff. Same time also for students to keep their projects on one of the shelves in the bottom. We started by measuring with a square and cutting with a miter saw. Marvishon, we have a new vacuum to keep everything neat. Once I finished cutting all the pieces to size, I started making the frames. Last year I had to do it together with someone, but this year with the clamps makes it a ton easier. I was able to do it all myself with ease. Usually during this time when I'm working alone, I listen to the Negudim, but since it's before Chav Cheshvan, I listen to Verbringen from the Rebbe. Chav Cheshvan Tafshin Memva was a very geschmack of Verbringen. Once I finished with the frames, I started measuring out the corners of these boards to make the shelves. All of a sudden I got stuck for a minute like that. I kind of got confused how much of the corners I needed to cut out, but I figured it out pretty quickly, and I remeasured and recut whatever I needed. Right before connecting the legs, I was feeling very hungry. I had one last piece of sushi left, but of course it had to fall on the floor, so I couldn't have it anyway. I just stayed hungry. Now when I started putting on the legs, I finally started feeling a sense of accomplishment and where the whole project was coming together. With these clamps, it made it really easy. Then I put on the bottom shelf, and in order to make sure that everything was properly leveled, I pulled out these yellow guides that you're going to be using throughout the year in order to hold up the next frame. In order to put on the next shelf, it needed to be squeezed in, so I used a hammer to knock it in. At this point, I was able to put it on the floor and continue working on it at regular height. I was so happy to see the final product as it was coming to a conclusion. It took me a long time, and I was finally done for the night.